Hi, I'm J.W. Wilson, Executive Director of the Learning Code Institute. I've been asked to give you a quick overview of the learning code science that is forever transforming how the world goes about creating learning, motivation, and behavior change. Let me start with this. We have a huge problem in our world. Our learning, motivation, and behavior change programs are not working very well at all. And all this learning dysfunction is having a very negative effect on humankind. Let me explain. Consider, over the last 17 years, we have spent hundreds of billions of dollars on solutions like No Child Left Behind, Common Core, and the Gates Foundation Educational Initiative. The result? They have all failed spectacularly. In fact, when compared to 25 years ago, in most cases, performance on both reading and math standardized tests has actually gone down. The corporate world is also suffering. In their article, So Much Training, So Little to Show for It, the Wall Street Journal sums it up nicely. 90% of the knowledge delivered in corporate trainings is forgotten in a very short period of time. So if your company spends $1 million on corporate training, $900,000 of value is lost almost immediately. How about our personal lives? Well, it doesn't look like learning and behavior change is working so well there either. Consider your own life. The last time you went on a diet, how long did you keep the weight off? If you're like most of us, not very long. You have friends that say they will stop drinking forever. How many ever do? Not many. It's estimated that the best diet and addiction programs in the world fail up to 90% of the time. This means they work only 10% of the time at most. Why all this stunning learning failure? Really, it's quite simple. Because we are not designing our learning programs on neurobiology. A key finding of our 30 years of research at the Institute is that in each one of us, there is a genetically implanted learning code that is represented by approximately 7,000 genes, which influence all your brain's function. When a percentage of these 7,000 genes are stimulated in the correct way, they produce thousands of enzymes and over 100 neurotransmitters. All this amazing complexity, all this brain activation, in turn, leads to the cellular and structural change in your brain that creates profound learning and behavior change. To grasp the true value of the learning code science, it is important to understand that if there is no cellular or structural change in your brain, then there can be no learning or behavior change in your life. The reason most of our existing learning, motivation, and behavior change initiatives fail to perform up to expectations is because they fail to create this structural change in your brain. The result? Humanity suffers. The discovery of the learning code science is so impactful and so disruptive that it has been compared to the discovery of the double helix shape of DNA made by Watson and Crick in the 1950s. We have presented this research to or worked with prestigious organizations like the Mayo Clinic, Turner Broadcasting, the Leadership Training Group for NASA, the UN, and the National Institutes of Health, as well as governments institutions in Estonia, Colombia, Brazil, Nigeria, and Peru. How disruptive is this science? Once people are exposed to the scientific approach of how we naturally and effortlessly learn, they never look at learning or motivation in the same way again. To give you an idea of how this science is transforming how market leaders respond to this science, we have hundreds of endorsements just like these. As you can see, at the Institute, we are on a mission to use this science to transform the human condition by transforming how the world learns and changes behaviors. That being said, transforming how the world learns is also a tremendous profit opportunity. I have developed over 25 startups. My team and I have built several businesses very similar to this one, where knowledge is the primary asset. In fact, we built the #1 and the largest web portal in the world designed to support women with a disorder called polycystic ovarian syndrome. Here we helped over 1 million women a year, had over 12,000 pages on the web, and over 3,600 page ones on Google. So we know how to do it. And just as importantly, the profit in these kinds of knowledge-based businesses that know how to manipulate social media and the web reaches 80 to 85%. Over the next 36 to 48 months, we will launch a new Cracking the Learning Code product line system once every 6 months to different verticals, ranging from education and health to addiction and personal development. Our first 3 verticals will go where the pain points and demand are the highest. That is, to teachers, homeschool parents, and parents. There are literally thousands upon thousands of mommy, teacher, and homeschool bloggers who are profoundly upset with the present status quo, and they are desperately looking for answers for their children. And we will take advantage of this market that is in great pain. After these first 3 verticals are launched, we will start releasing the next 17 verticals at the rate of 1 every 6 months. Examples include areas where we really need help, like cracking the food addiction code, cracking the marketing code, cracking the leadership code, cracking the drug addiction code, cracking the negotiation code, cracking the spirituality code, cracking the cultural transformation code. That's one place where we really need help right now. The science is so disruptive to the status quo, many people equate this investment to what Apple did at the start of the computer revolution. We are looking for people to get involved with us that have 2 main qualifications. First, they want to be part of something bigger than themselves, something that has the capacity to transform mankind. And second, they want to do good by doing good. If this opportunity interests you, we urge you to click below and watch the short video, which gives you a background as to how the Learning Code is forever transforming education. In this example, at Masters Academy, standardized test scores are now 400% higher than the province average. The learning takes 20% less time. Behavior problems have been virtually eliminated. And in a recent study of 790 Canadian schools, Masters is rated #1. Most importantly of all, the learning is now much more joyful and a natural process for these engaged, fulfilled students. As you can see, this science and our mission will impact millions upon millions of people, not only by giving them tools to better transform their own lives, but also by giving them tools to better transform the lives of others and our world. This will be a joyful, fulfilling, and very meaningful mission. If this profit opportunity resonates with you, I would love to connect for further discussion, answers to your questions, and if appropriate, an opportunity to join and invest in this effort to transform our world. My contact information is below. Peace.